Hey guys, D-Man66 here again. Today I'm going to make a video, or two videos probably, of changing your wheel bearings on the knuckles, on the front wheels. So here we got the front wheel here. The hub cap is removed. My cotter pin on the nut is removed. I got things a little prepped, ready to go, like all the cotter pins are out of my joints, so to make things a little easier and go a little quicker. So I got a 27 millimeter socket here, 1/2-inch drive wrench, and I'm going to stick that on the nut, and we're going to break that free. And the tire and the weight of the machine's on the ground. This is my cheater bar. I'm going to stick it on the wrench. Make sure your socket's seated really good, and then put one hand on the top of the tire and push rearward, and the other one's going down. I'll probably put my knee on there too. Maybe both hands. That's the torque on that is probably about 185, 195 foot-pounds. So now it's loose. So next thing we're going to do is take the wheel off. Already loosened up the lug nuts. I got my jack ready to go. My cheap jack. I'm going to jack the tire up. We're going to stick a good. And get that get some more support under there. Alright, that's good. Now we're up in the air. Cover's coming off. And you can take the tire off now. Like I said, I loosened these up already. I think the torque on the lug nut's like 50-some pounds, 55 foot-pounds. I'll leave the top one still tight so you can get all the other three lug nuts out pretty quick. Put them aside. And then we got the top one to deal with. Get that out of there. Now that's off. Wheel's off. Put it out of the way. Don't slam it on the ground if you got nice rims. Now we're going to take off the nut here. I loosened that up, so now it's pretty good to go. Do it by hand. Some of you may not be that fortunate to get it out that easy. Here's the cotter pin that was in the nut, in the axle. I took that out before. So, we want to take, let's see, this is a 7 millimeter, because I'm actually going to pop the caliper off. We're going to take this little nut off, or bolt off, that holds on the caliper hose. Once again, that's a 7 millimeter socket. Take the caliper hose bolt out. We are going to take a 17 millimeter socket and loosen up once again, our cotter pins are already out on the top and bottom and the tie rod end. So we're going to take a 17mm socket and loosen up the knuckle to the A-arms. I'll take them up maybe about halfway up or a little more. Don't take it all the way off. I'll show you what happens from there once we get to that point. 17mm does my ASR tie rod ends, the nuts, and the A-arm nuts. On the tie rod ends, there's the washer. On these ASR tie rod ends, you may need a 12mm wrench. The thinner the wrench, the better, but you got to catch between the knuckle and the tie rod end. There's a flat spot on either side of the tie rod. Stick your wrench in there and undo the nut. Mine's been off already, so it hasn't. The nut came right off, so we can pop that right out. I just put them on so it wasn't too bad. Next, we're going to take a 12mm on the back side of the caliper and take that off. Mine are fairly loose because I've had it apart already. And we're going to pop those out. And they're on the back side of the knuckle. There's two 12mm bolts holding the caliper. That one's out. That one's out. Put them aside. Wiggle that up. Now you're free. We can put that right in there. Keep that away from that. What we also want to do is take the shock off. You don't have to take the top off, but the bottom would be nice. I think these bolts are 25 foot-pounds roughly. Yours may not come out this easy. I just had all this apart. There again. That's why it's coming out fairly easy. Okay, so the shock is out. Now I'm going to press that up. And let me see if I can. So our, not really good at videos here, but our bolt holes for the caliper are right here and down here when the caliper's on. So we will put that right there, and I'll come in like that. So the next step is once these nuts are loose, and we can separate the A-arms off. We can actually take that off, your hub, and put it aside. Try not to damage it. So now we're left with the axle is free, and we just got to separate the A-arms from the knuckle. So what I do is I hold that up and take a hammer and don't smack the rubber here of the ball joint. Hit the A-arm on the sides. There it goes. That's the bottom one. That's off. Put that aside. See how nice that is? And then you hold the A-arm. Hold the A-arm and However, you got to get it out. Get my 17 millimeter and stick it up there. Boom, boom. And A-arms out. There's your knuckle. Not too hard, right? At this point, we can check. Let me flip this around. We can check play in the A-arms. I got a little bit there. Down here, I'm wobbling the lower A-arm, but that's not going anywhere. But the upper one has a little play. No big deal. Not sure how much of this you can see on there, because it's kind of hard to do a video. And so you don't want your axle popping out, but you can just rest it there. Alright, I'll make another video of the knuckle and pulling out the ring in for the bearing and pushing out the bearing and putting a new one in. See you then.